Hey, Dusty, do you know how your rotation will line up after Verlander tomorrow?
Yeah, we got an idea. So, but we just gotta, I'll let you know tomorrow.
We'll go to Chandler on your left.
Dusty, do you remember the first time you met Bryce Harper and just what that was like managing him, and what have you thought of kind of his ascension into what he's become?
Well, I mean, Bryce was, he was pretty easy to manage. He was a young player. I had been told about him from Matt Williams that I got Matt's graces for me to take over for his job, and I asked him about different players. And, he's a tremendous player. He's been in the spotlight for a long, long time. Happen to like him a lot on the field and off the field, and very impressed with his dedication to people and to life. And he came to see me when they were here playing that last series. I got a knock on my door, and it was Bryce, and we had a good, great conversation. Comes from good family, mom and dad, and he's a force to deal with. We had a couple run-ins like you always do at some point in time, but he actually thanked me for those times, and like I said, I got a lot of respect for him.
We'll go to Brian in the third row on your left.
Dusty, you mentioned after you guys clinched in New York at Yankee Stadium the spiritual togetherness of the city, Houston, and this team, and through all your years, you'd never seen a city so close to the players, so close to a team before. Why do you think that is? I mean, obviously, part of it is because of what this team went through in 20 and everything that followed that. But could you just expound on that a little? The spiritual togetherness, the connection between the team and the city.
Well, I mean, you can sort of tell. Like guys are going to the plate. They're waving to certain fans, certain kids that they've seen for years that are now young men. I watch Maldi. I watch Verlander interact with some of the kids, especially like Jose, and it rivals anywhere I've been. I mean, L.A. was great, but L.A. had a lot of people from all over. We'd be playing the Cubs, and there'd be Kingman hit 3 home runs, and there'd be 20,000 people from Chicago, or we played the Mets. But San Francisco was probably closer, to this, with most people from San Francisco were from there. Where this is different, where a lot of people from here are from here, but there are a lot of people that have moved here, moved to Texas, and they've all sort of dropped whatever team they were rooting for and seemed to be Astros fan. I mean, you go around the city, go to restaurants, or wherever you go, people are excited about us.
We'll go to Steve up front on your right, Dusty.
Congratulations, Dusty, being here again. I'd like to ask you, I know you're asked this every time, but what would it mean to you to manage a World Series champion?
Well, that's why I'm here. And that's why I glad that Jim Crane brought me back here, and also to a place that, because most places I've been, I've had to sort of rebuild the team, but this team was sort of built already, and I had to carry on and try to enhance what we already have here. And I don't know. I'm just a ball player that's trying to play ball and trying to win. I love to win, and I've always said if I win one, I win two. So you got to win one first, and then we'll work on number two at that time.
And can I ask you your relationship, if there is one, with Rob Thompson? Have you interacted with him over the years? And what do you think about a guy who takes over at a very low point and has brought his team back to this spot?
Well, I don't really know Rob. He called me to congratulate me, when we clinched. But I've heard nothing but good things about him from various people, that have known him, especially people in New York. And, I just got through talking to, I don't know which one is older, but the real Robbie Thompson played for me in San Francisco. And I just got off the phone with Robbie. And so, he comes from a good namesake. And, it hadn't happened very often when you take over in the middle. And the last guy that I know personally that did that was Cito Gaston, that took over in Toronto. That you rarely hear his name. That won 2 years in a row, and one of my guys that took care of me from the day that I started in pro ball.
We'll go to Christy, then Kim, then Clinton.
Hey, Dusty. I'm sure you saw this or knew about it, but with Michael Brantley being out with an injury, this will be the first time since 1950 that there's no U.S.-born black players in the World Series. We've talked a lot about diversity and issues like this before. I wondered if you could just tell me how, your thoughts on that, what you feel about this.
Well, I don't think that's something that baseball, should really be proud of, because it looks bad. It lets people know that, it didn't take a year or even a decade to get to this point. But there is help on the way. You can tell by the number of African-American #1 draft choices. The academies are producing players. So hopefully in the near future we won't have to talk about this anymore or even be in this situation.
Kim?
Dusty, can you talk about what feels different about this team this year? I mean, I know we talked about talent top to bottom, but is there a different feeling as you guys approach this second World Series?
I don't know. This team is pretty calm and confident, and it really helps to have Verlander pitching #1 and then Lance back, because last year, that really hurt us. To lose Lance, and that really sank my heart when Lance wanted to go to the mound, that he was hurt, and so it starts with pitching, and to have Lance and Verlander, and to have the other young guys 1 year more mature and confident, it's a good feeling.
You talk about the calmness, and there is that with this team. Is that more a factor of just who they are individually, or is there something that you guys do collectively to create that kind of environment?
I don't really know how to answer that. Really, it's not something that you can just bottle and do by design. It has to evolve, to that situation through trial and error and through failure and successes, and just maturity as a person and maturity as a ball player and also maturity as a unit. I wish I knew the exact answer. I'd sell it to the world.
Go to Clinton in the fourth row in the middle.
Man, my wife's gonna kill me with these glasses.
Dusty, last year there was sort of a family connection to the World Series and the opponent with Hank having passed and all of that with the Braves and all that. What's this series? What does this feel like now after a whole series without your close family friend and your mentor, not being able to be there to see it?
Well, I thought about it a lot, and last year was the death of Hank Aaron, and also we were playing the Braves. So the way I look at it, much as I like Hank and much as he loves me and each other, he was probably rooting for the Braves last year. Yeah, and I figured now he's rooting for me.
We'll go to Bob, seated on your right. We'll get Bob the mic.
Hey, Dusty, you ever wear your Dodgers World Series ring or any ring that you won as a manager?
Nah. No, I just, the only ring I wear is my wedding ring. And, I just got them in the safe deposit box. I got all-star rings. I got different rings. And I truly doubt if my World Series ring would fit. Honest. And no, and I don't know if I'll wear this one either, when we win it. So it's kind of, I mean, you're proud of it, but the more you wear it, then the more you notice and people ask to see your ring or ask, even recognize you. Because when I get out of here, I'm not real big on being recognized because I've been recognized most of my life, and sometimes you yearn for privacy. But you can't hide and you can't just stay in your house all the time either. So that's why I don't wear mine. And as big as some of these are now, man, you can notice it's across the street.
Anything else for Dusty? All
Okay,
right, Dusty,
thank you.
thanks so much. Appreciate it.